What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Target MMA. I'm your host, Rob. I'm here to give you my Miss the Mark segment, my episode, where I'm giving you all the underdogs that nobody sees coming. Let's get into this breakdown. We have Vicente Luque, plus 100, going against Tresean Gore. Vicente Luque, he's a finisher. 11 KOs, 10 submissions. He has been finished in the past. 2 KOs, 3 submissions. He had an injury a few years ago now, but he had a brain bleed. Now that is pretty concerning, but he was on a 2-fight skid for a while. He was submitted by Kevin Holland, went to a decision with Joel Alvarez. Then he just dropped and submitted Kevin Gastelum in his last fight. And I remember being mad. I had some friends over and we're watching the fights, and I had Kevin Gastelum as my unofficial bullseye. I was seeing how I felt with the bullseye. He was a minus 300. I had him and like another guy, 2 guys. The very first fight of my bullseye, smoked by Vicente Luque. But now he's taking on Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore, I think, is 7-4. I think the stats on this website is wrong because I think I put him 7-4 in my graphics. He is coming off of a come-from-behind win over Azamat Bakoev. But before that, he went to a decision with Rodolfo Vieira and got knocked out by Marco Tulio. But he did drop Marco Tulio. He has heavy hands, but he's mostly a submission guy. He only has 1 knockout in his record. Now, I'm picking Vicente Luque here because Vicente, for all of his pros, he has some cons. He is fairly hittable. He keeps his head out there, doesn't move his head very much. He can be hit, but the reason why I'm picking him on the Miss the Mark segment, I'm picking him because he has great Muay Thai. He uses his leg kicks, and Tresean Gore gets his legs chopped from underneath him, and we saw that in a few of his fights. He is hittable in his own right. 2 out of his 4 losses are by knockout, and that was from Tulio and Cody Brundage, 2 guys with heavy hands. Vicente Luque has heavy hands, but I think I just saw a stat. Every per minute he gets hit 5 times. That is tremendous. We're talking about 79 times in the course of a 3-round fight. Vicente Luque is getting hit. I don't like that, but I don't think Gore is going to knock him out here. Plus 100. I think the only reason he is a dog is because Tresean Gore looked good in his last fight against a minus 650 Bakoev. Nonetheless, we are picking Vicente Luque. Plus 100. I like it. Next on our Miss the Mark segment, we have Kaue Fernandez taking on Jalen Turner. Kaue Fernandez is a plus 138 dog. He's 11-2 in his own right, 6 KO wins, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in his career. And he is a snappy leg kicker. They're dangerous. He had a win in his last fight with leg kicks over Harry Hardwick, where he was just getting destroyed. His legs were just mincemeat. He's taking on Jalen Turner, who's 15-9. Not the best record. He is coming off of his TKO win over Edson Barboza, where he came forward, dropped Edson bad, bleeding, gushing blood. Before that, he had a submission loss to Ignacio Bahamatez, where he was on top and got triangle choked. Then got TKO from Renato Moicano before that, where he dropped Renato and thought it was just a walk away like movie moment and just had adrenaline jump. Before that, he KO'd King Green, then lost 2 split decisions to Gamrot and Dan Hooker. He has had a mixed bag of wins and losses. Now, the reason why we're picking Kaue Fernandez in the Miss the Mark is because Jalen Turner, I think it was against Dan Hooker, I believe I looked it up, where he did not check 45 out of 48 leg kicks. I believe that's the stat. I know that's the stat. I believe that's the correct fight. I'm almost certain. I looked it up yesterday. He doesn't check leg kicks. Whether it's Dan Hooker or whomever else. He does not check leg kicks. And that's dangerous against a guy that's going to chop at your legs. That is a dangerous strategy to not check these leg kicks. And that's why we're picking Kawe. Because unless Jalen Turner times it and gets that one-punch knockout, 11 of his 15 are by knockout. This guy is dangerous. Don't get me wrong. But he has 4 KO losses out of his 9 losses. 1 submission loss. He wasn't submitted before Ignacio Bahamates. But also another reason why we're going with Kawe here is because where's Turner's head at? You know, he retired in his last fight, didn't want to do anymore, had a whole woe is me, yada yada, and then came back. Where is his mental state at? Nonetheless, let's go with Kawe. Moving right along on Mr. Mark, we have Chidi Njokuani taking on Joel Alvarez. I know you guys like Joel. I like him too. I was looking at him like, oh, I'm picking Joel here as a knee-jerk reaction, right? But there's a few things we have to take into consideration. That's why I'm not throwing the house on Joel. And that's why a plus 230 Chidi Njokuani is not a bad tag. Now, let's look at these. Let's look at this, right? Chidi is the older fighter. 37 years old. 25 wins, 12 losses. 15 of the 25 is by knockout. Now, he was originally a 185er going to welterweight. So he had to cut the weight because he was tremendous, right? Joel Alvarez was originally 155 and he was big for the division. And he looked good in that division because he was big. He looked great. Why? Because he was a big lightweight. Went up to welterweight. Excuse me. Now, he goes up to welterweight, has a mixed bag. He goes to a decision with Vicente Luque. Is it the same division? Yes. And then he gets submitted by Yaroslav Amosov. His first submission loss. Goes to show you how good Amosov is. Now, the fight style, I can see that Joel is a little low volume and he likes his leg kicks, but I think Chidi can keep a good range and hit you from a distance before those leg kicks become a factor. My biggest consideration here is how good is Alvarez at 170. He was big for a division and went up. We got a Chidi Njokuani who could have fought 185 and went down. I'm very concerned here. And for 170, this is Alvarez's natural weight. Njokuani should be bigger. He's huge. But Alvarez is 6'2". Chidi is 6'3". He's going to be taller, but maybe not necessarily bigger. But nonetheless, we've seen Alvarez get knocked out before. Arman Sarukian knocked him out. That was more ground and pound, right? And then much, much earlier in his career against Ali Abdul Khalikov. 6 of 17 wins by KO. Guy's not bad. Not terrible. Not the best. Dagestani fight. Oh, no. Moscow. Not Dagestan. Whoops. Nonetheless, I like Chidi here. I think Chidi Bang Bang gets a knockout win. Let's see. Chidi is on a losing streak, though. Got submitted by Jake Matthews. Went to a decision with Carlos Leal. But he was winning 3. He's due for a win, right? So he has had a mixed bag. 3 wins in the Dana White's Contender Series. Wins 2, loses 3. loses 3, wins 3, loses 2. He could get a third loss or the win. It looks like the trajectory for a win here. I'm not going to lie. Nonetheless, I like Chitty here. But I'm not. And also, even if you don't bet Chitty, how can we possibly bet Alvarez? The weight is going to be a tremendous difference. Regardless, we are going with Chitty. Now let's go to our co-main event of the evening. We have Jillian Roberts taking on Mackenzie Dern. Jillian Roberts plus 186. She is going to be slightly bigger. I saw them face off. She's slightly bigger. She can be taken down. Mackenzie Dern can be taken down. But one of them is more dangerous. Robertson, 3 KOs, 9 submissions. So 12 finishes of her 17. She has been KO'd before, submitted before, and lost 6 decisions. Mackenzie Dern has been KO'd before. How long ago? Against Jessica Andrade. But Andrade has powerful hands. 10 knockouts over 26 wins. Now, this is going to be who gets the takedown, honestly. Because if Jillian doesn't, she doesn't have the best striking to compete with Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern has better striking. But I just didn't like how easy she is to be taken down. And if she does get a takedown against Jillian, you're in Jillian's world. Although Mackenzie has 8 submissions of her 16, she's split. But she's not dangerous. That's why she has no KOs. I think Jillian is the more dangerous of the two. This is a possible dog, but it's not a clear Mackenzie win. The same thing as we were just talking about Joelle and Chitty. You can't confidently just pick Mackenzie Dern here. Jillian is a dangerous grappler. She can not, and what I did like in an interview, she says she sees a round 3 TKO. I like fighters that are like, this is how I'm going to win, and you bet them. Sean O'Malley did that at the White House card. I bet him by knockout because he said he's going to knock him out. Sometimes you got to trust people when they talk. Nonetheless, I do like Jillian Robertson here. Plus 185. Let's see. What is she by finish? By points, she is plus 300. Not the best tag. Might as well take that. Money line. By submissions, plus 1,400. By TKO, plus 1,400. Now, when she says round 3 TKO, what's round 3 TKO? Plus 6,000. I'm betting that. Honestly, I'm not putting a lot on that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting a lot on it. But why not? Somebody tells you how they're going to get done. $5 make you 300. Why not? Fuck it. Just don't drink a coffee for a day. Don't go to your Dunkin' Donuts. Why not? Nonetheless, that's the Miss the Mark segment. Thanks for being here. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the scorecards.